one of you watching this video is going to win this beautiful 1 grammer from the Perth Mint. Keep watching to learn how. T. Hello, silver fans. This is T, and you're in the place to be for silver education, acquisition, and entertainment. And hey, today the place to be is all around the world. As you can see, I've got my fractional world gold laid out. I'm going to show you some new pieces that I purchased and where they fit in on this map. Thanks for joining me today. And yeah, I did mention at the beginning of this video, the intro, that one of you is going to win this beautiful Perth Mint gold bar. It's 99.9949s fine gold from the Perth Mint in Australia. Now, speaking of Australia, I've got some new pieces from the Perth Mint. Hey, this was just my very first piece, and these other pieces that I'm about to show you are also from the Perth Mint. But before we get to the Perth Mint, let me show you some of my other fractional world gold and tell you where it's from. All right, guys, got the camera off the old tripod, and there you can see my wall of stickers there, and I've got gold spread all over this map. Just a little bit from Canada there, United States. I think my Incuse Indian there is probably one of my favorite pieces in my gold collection. Hey, I've got Mexico represented very well here with Libertads and Dos Pesos and Cinco Pesos, etc., etc. One area that's really lacking is South America. It seems like every time I go into a coin shop, I ask for South American gold, and they have none. Got a 10 franc from Austria, from France, from the UK, and even from China, right there. And South Africa, no gold collection is complete without a Krugerrand. And hey, today, let me move this because I've got to make way for a new piece from Africa. I've got South African represented, and Alexander the Great goes in Liberia right there. Now talk about Perth Mint. These are my two little acquisitions, my new ones. I've got this wedge-tailed eagle from the Perth Mint. So let's put this guy right there on the western side of Australia. And the Year of the Ox. Look at that. How cool is that? Very beautiful. And he also goes in Western Australia here at the good old Perth Mint. This is a sponsored video, and it is sponsored by Gold Royalty Corp. And I'm going to talk about them in just a moment. And as a way of saying thank you for hanging with me during my sponsored video, I am going to do a random drawing for this gold piece. So, hey, how many channels can you go to and win a piece of gold by watching and making a comment? So please watch all the way through. I'll tell you the specific details at the end. But first, let me tell you a little bit about Gold Royalty Corp. As I mentioned, the sponsor of today's video. And I have to tell you, I am very grateful to have the opportunity to make these sponsored videos from time to time. I truly appreciate you watching. They help put me in a position to add more silver and gold to my stack. Now, let me tell you a little bit about Gold Royalty Corp. It's not like your normal mining stock company that you see featured on a lot of channels here on YouTube, whether it's Silver Dragons or Yankee Stacking or myself or a whole host of other YouTube content creators. This is a royalty corp. So what is a royalty corp? Royalty and streaming is an entirely different way of capturing the upside of mining activity. And in many ways, it is a de-risked form of exposure. First and foremost, a couple of definitions to get you started. Royalties are basically just a payment to a royalty holder by a property owner or a project operator. Royalties are typically based on a percentage of the minerals produced and the revenues or profits generated from the property. Royalty companies don't have to mine for the gold themselves. This is really important. They can instead fund the best projects available, let other companies do the legwork, and potentially profit from the gold discoveries. It's a highly compelling business model with distinct advantages. With royalty companies, you get exposure often magnified to commodity prices, fixed operating costs, no development or sustaining capital costs, exploring and expansion upside without the overhead typically associated with those activities, a diversified asset portfolio, and the ability to grow without a major increase in management. All under one umbrella, Gold Royalty Corp. And by the way, their stock symbol is GROY, GROY. It's a business model that allows the company to potentially generate revenues whether the gold price is rising or falling, since royalty companies set fixed prices for mining output. As a result, it's actually not unusual for the royalty names to outperform both the price of gold and the gold miners themselves. So hey, you may be thinking to yourself, this sounds good, but a company is only as good as the people who run it. GROY is a company founded by Amir Adnani. Hey, you've heard of Amir Adnani. You've heard of him on my channel, as a matter of fact. He is the founder of Uranium Royalty Corp. So you have GROY and UROY, two companies founded by Amir Adnani. They are essentially sister companies. So everything that just happened with UROY can replicate itself with GROY. Now, for the next gentleman, let me give you a little bit of a backstory. Newmont and Goldcorp merged a couple of years ago in what was the largest corporate merger in gold industry history. It was a $32 billion deal. Now, the CEO of Goldcorp, the mastermind behind the deal, is David Garofalo, who is now CEO of Gold Royalty Corp. He's a super sharp guy, very driven, and to see what I mean, watch a short video clip featuring David Garofalo.
Well, if you believe in gold as an asset class, I can't think of a better way in this type of inflationary environment to play gold. It provides you optimum leverage to the gold price while completely insulating you from inflation and input costs, which is a going concern for the mining industry. We see headline inflation approaching double digits in the general economy, and that's going to be further amplified by the fact that the industry has underinvested in exploration and mine development over the last decade. And as they put their minds to actually replacing reserves, they're going to be driving up input costs as they compete for scarce human resources, drilling, and other input costs. So I think we're entering into a very significant inflationary environment for mining operators, and royalty companies provide you that leverage, that exposure to the gold price at the top line, at the revenue line, without any exposure to operating or capital cost inflation. So it provides you that upside to the gold price while insulating you from inflation, but also providing you exploration upside. So as our operating partners drill to replace the reserves, we get that upside in our royalty portfolio as well. For example, in the case of Gold Royalty, our operating partners this year are drilling over 700,000 meters on their various properties. That's the equivalent of $200 million of exploration expenditures. We get full exposure to that through our royalty portfolio, but we paid nothing for it.
So here you have it, guys. You've got the business model. You've got the really bright and driven individuals who run the company and lead the company. Let's talk a little bit about the properties. The shining stars of the portfolio, their three largest gold mines, are Odyssey, Côté, and Ren. They are the crown jewels of the company's portfolio, and the income secured from them is what makes GROY a world-class royalty business, destined to make its shareholders wealthy. Now back to that stock symbol, it is GROY, G-R-O-Y. As you can see from this chart, lately it's been on an upswing. Again, do your own due diligence. This video is just for informational purposes only. So where do you start this research? A good place is their website. Here it is right here. As you can see, it's a wealth of information, very easy to navigate, and I suggest you check it out. Okay, guys, hey, that's the info I had to share with you regarding Gold Royalty Corp. Now, back to the info about this beautiful gram of gold from the Perth Mint. It's pretty simple. First of all, I really appreciate you guys watching. This is my way of saying thanks. All you have to do is make a comment down below, and I will do a random comment picker. So good luck, make your comment, and I cannot wait to put this in the mail for one of you. Hey, thanks for watching, everybody.